The gender gap in startups and venture capital is a buzzing topic as the current climate facing women founders trying to get funding for their businesses is a serious challenge. According to Babson's Diana Project, only 2.7% of venture capital funded companies have a female CEO. Capital W, founded by investor and businesswoman Sheryl Marshall, is a day-long summit that links up local women entrepreneurs with investors while also bringing to light issues regarding the state of venture capital for women today. This year's summit will take place in Boston on Friday, May 6th at District Hall, Boston's new home for innovation in the Seaport District. To tell us more, we will now chat with businesswoman and founder of Capital W, Sheryl Marshall. Welcome to Urban Update. Thanks for coming
thank you. Good morning.
Okay, all right. Well, let's get right to it here. Access to capital for female businesses is still a pretty big challenge, isn't it?
It's huge. I am now starting to talk about it as the last mile. Just like we have the last mile in transportation and telecom, that's where the word came from. I mean, you and I were talking about it before. You take the commuter rail, but then you still have to get on a subway to come here to the offices. That's considered the last mile. What happens in Boston is we have many institutions and groups that help their women get their businesses off the ground. For example, Babson, the Center for Women Entrepreneurship and Leadership. And we have a tremendous ecosystem with universities and everything, and government policies and everything else that goes on. But when it comes time to get that first institutional round of capital from venture capitalists, the door is practically closed. It's slightly ajar, let's put it that way. It's almost impossible for these women to get in front of the VCs, who are almost uniformly male and almost uniformly invest out of their Rolodexes. So what we're doing is trying to bring the capital to the women by showcasing their businesses.
Why do you think it is so difficult for women-owned and women-run businesses to get venture capital and funding?
Well, it's kind of it's both sides. It's a chicken and egg situation. There are very few women venture capitalists. When Babson, Dr. Candy Brush, did the first Diana Project report in the late 90s, there were many more women venture partners than they are now, and she just finished the second part of the report, version 2 we should call it, the Diana Project version 2, and found that the numbers had sunk. Secondly, generally speaking, men invest in things that they know, and women and men start businesses in areas that they know. So you will see women doing businesses, very successful ones, for example, like Rent the Runway or Manicube or Minted. And a lot of times they will get a meeting with one of these VCs and they're like, I don't understand this, okay? Tell me more. Why would women want to rent a dress? You know, that kind of thing. It becomes very hard. I mean, that is a bit of a stereotype because we also have a lot of women, and I noticed it this year with the applications for our pitch contest, who are in the biotech medical field. But again, many of them are focusing on a lot of women's health issues. Well, gee, we're half the population. You know, that's a good thing, right?
There's a lot of business out there, yes.
Yeah. So that's one of the barriers to entry.
Now, talk to me about how you went about putting this conference together, and I guess, and how you got these potential investors to attend.
I beat them up, okay? No, basically what happened was, at one time in the early aughts, I had founded and managed the largest women-owned, women-targeted venture capital fund in the country. And we had several successful investments. And I wound it down in 2005, and since then I had been coaching women entrepreneurs and definitely following the women entrepreneurial scene. And I was particularly frustrated with a couple of women who had come to me with extraordinary backgrounds, and they were just getting ridiculous pushback from a lot of the male VCs. So I was so mad, I said, it was like network. I said, I'm mad and I'm not going to take it anymore. I said, I'm going to put on a one-day summit, and I'm going to bring all these women entrepreneurs in, and I'm going to get all these, VCs to come in and listen to their pitches. And at the same time that this was going on, they had the Ellen Pao discrimination suit. Do you remember that from last year, Byron?
Yes.
Out in Silicon Valley. And there's just been a huge amount of conversation about how incredibly male and white, frankly, the industry is. And, that has to change.
What about, talk to me about some of the topics you're going to be discussing, and I guess something about the speakers and presenters.
Last year we had 3 speakers who spoke on, three very different topics. Healthcare. One of our speakers was one of the original women MIT gamblers who had, done the algorithms to figure out how to beat the casinos in Las Vegas. This year we wanted to mix it up a little bit. So what we're doing is we're actually having many of the VCs who will be judging the pitches do some of the speaking. For example, we're doing a pitch on digital retail. And that can encompass anything from Amazon to a skincare company that is going to be pitching that day. They're going to talk about what you need to be successful in digital retail. Do you have to have a good supply chain? Doesn't matter who your venture capitalists are. So they're each going to be speaking about that. And the same with the healthcare panel. What does it take to be successful in health sciences, which in Boston encompasses a huge variety of different things, from savings on insurance plans to biotech to devices.
What, in your opinion, needs to change to level the playing field for women-owned businesses?
I think, again, both things. You need to have more women partners. Only the number has gone down to something I think like 6% of partners at VC firms are women. That's the first thing. They're going to bring their own Rolodexes, and they will have their own biases. The second thing is you have to get the men enrolled in this idea. And actually, most of the men who are the judges at our conference and who are coming are enthusiastic and completely supportive and behind the idea, and really want to make us help us go the last mile.
Who, in your view, should be attending the summit?
Well, I think all women entrepreneurs who are eventually hoping to get financing, or maybe have got a first round of financing, or are even thinking about it, should come. Additionally, we're doing a speed pitch during the daytime, which is a lot of fun, and it's great for entrepreneurs who maybe have an idea or a little something going, and they're going to be able to get one-to-one with a highly qualified experienced VC who's going to say, and it's a 5-minute thing, who's going to say, I think you need to wear an orange tie to be successful. So those are the kind of people who come, and people who are curious, and also people who want to invest themselves. Last year we had a lot of women angels who were also very curious about what was going on, because there are some very strong women angel groups out there.
You've had some success in securing a few key partners. Can you name a couple of the partners that you have?
Sure. We have, several of the venture firms. Bain Ventures is one of the partners. General Catalyst, Atlas Venture, which does biotech, SoulCycle has signed on, Uber has signed on. Wow. We co-partner with Babson and the City of Boston, so we've got some pretty good partners.
We certainly do. Maybe we can wrap things up by just kind of reminding everyone, I guess the whens and wheres about the summit.
District Hall, Friday, May 6th. You can register on our website. We're not charging a lot of money, we don't think, for the ticket. We want you to come. We think you'll learn a lot, and it's also a very fun day, too.
Okay, all right. And it's www.bwvs.org.
Yes.
That's the website. You
yes.
can find out more information.
Yes.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
Okay, Sheryl Marshall,
right.
Thanks for coming in, and
Thank
good luck
you,
with the summit.
Byron. Have a good day.
Okay, you too.
Bye-bye.
All right, when we come back, we will continue the theme of women in business, as we'll have important information on another event for women in business in Boston who are eager to connect with other businesswomen. All the details coming up right here on the